Hello and welcome to the Dream Interpretation Podcast, the show about life transformation through dream interpretation. I'm Michael Sheridan. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. On the show, I say it all the time, that I reveal what the obstacles in your life are. I analyze your dreams, see what the obstacles are, and then I'm always going to tell you that the obstacle is the way. It's not in the way, it is the way. Your dreams are amazing. They tell you everything about your life. They draw on your memories from now and from childhood. And they do it in such a colourful way that it allows me to look at your dreams and see what went on for you in childhood. What were the big issues that caused you problems? And what from that time in your life holds you back the most? What do you need to heal? Why do you need to heal it? What gifts have you got? What are your superpowers? We cover all those things on this show and absolutely love to do it. And in fact, I help people heal childhood trauma. And we have a course starting in a few days on February 19th about that. If you are interested in that, go to dream-analysis.com, click on courses, and you will find it there. We always love when people send us dreams. So if you want to send us a dream, go to dream-analysis.com, click on radio show, and you could submit your dream there as well, and hopefully have it done on the show. So last week I interviewed Susan Pullen. This week I just want to get straight into dreams, and I absolutely love this dream. It's titled Driving with My Mother and Chinese Dragon on a Bed. It's almost like two dreams, the way the dreamer writes it. And I love the dream a lot. No idea why I like it as much as I do, but I wanted to share it with you because I like it so much. I'm calling the dreamer Amy. You may notice that I use the same names all the time on the show, and you might think, why does he always do Amy's dreams or some other person's dreams? It's because I use the same names to hide the real identities, but they are all different people, or usually are all different people. What I like about this dream is it's obvious what the dream is saying. The dreamer's mom has mobility issues, and they show up in the dream and cause the dreamer to take pause. So what would it mean if that happens to you in a dream? Well, let's have a look. She says, I'm driving with my mother near from her house. We're headed down Mercer Street, almost to 12th Avenue East. Very detailed dreamer. I am aware that there is a large pothole midway down the hill and in the middle of the street. I know this because I have gone this way before. Just as we are coming up to it, a red metal megaphone about 2 feet long, the kind they have at sporting events, drops right out of the sky in front of us and falls right into the pothole. She says, I was already anticipating driving around the pothole, but this surprises us. So I pull over to the left. There are no other cars on the street, she says, and park. So, okay. She's even telling us she's doing good driving during the dream. Okay, so Mercer Street, that could be where the dreamer's from. I don't know, but Mercer Island is an island in Seattle. So that's going to tell us it's about the heart straight away. We expect it to be mom issues or issues to do with the feminine side. The dreamer says, gives us a few gifts, tells us a few gifts already. First of all, going back to the mom thing, she says she's driving with her mother, so it's carrying influences from mom, and we know that that's generally not a good thing to see in a dream. There are extremely rare cases, and you could say to yourself, oh, I must be one of those, but it's very unlikely. If I do 10,000 dreams, then I might find 2 where mom is a positive person and positive influence in the dreamer's life. Usually dreams focus on what we need to heal. And because they're focusing on what we need to heal, your mom could have lots of good traits, but that's not what the dream is going to talk about. It's going to talk about the negative ones that impacted you. So that's just how it is. It's how they work. So we expect it to be mom issues showing up in the dream, and therefore some gifts that work with feminine energy. You say, I'm aware that there's a large pothole midway down. I know this because I've been here before. Well, that's going to be one of two things. It's either that you're on a karmic cycle because you've tried to do this in your by coming here in a previous incarnation, or else it's going to be about you have the gift of prophecy. And I'm going to go with prophecy. I'm just saying the other thing because it can apply to other people. I'm going to say for you, it's the gift of prophecy. You get knowings about things, in advance. And so anything in front of us in a dream is our future. And so when you know what's going to happen further up the road, or what you're going to come across further up the road, that's the perfect signal in a dream to say you have this ability in waking life. So you've got that. Just as we're coming up to this pothole, you say a red metal megaphone about 2 feet long drops into it out of the sky. Well, anything that comes from the sky is generally a good thing in a dream. Okay, well, this is anyway. And it's 2 feet long, so that tells us something as well. A megaphone, what do we use them for? Well, whoever is the person at the megaphone with the megaphone at an event is the person that you are meant to listen to. And the powers that be have all deemed that this is the person to listen to, because otherwise they wouldn't have given them a megaphone. So megaphones indicate spiritual leadership in a dream. So this dreamer, Amy, has a spiritual leadership gift. You say it's 2 feet long, so she also is a channel, because twos show up in dreams for channeling. I channeled on it, and she is a channel. So there's not enough just with the two to say that, but we know in this case she is, and she's meant to use her spiritual leadership going forward. That's what the 2 feet is also about. Anyway, it drops right out of the sky. It's in front of you. So there it is. Go pick it up. But at least you stop and you pull over to because this happened. Now, you don't pick the megaphone up. That's a pity. But we'll see spiritual leadership coming up later on in your dream again. Then you say, I see a woman with something in hand, small papers, and she's going into the gate of a house there, and she gestures for us to come in too. There's a whole elaborate garden with bamboo and tropical plants and a water feature that one has to cross on stepping stones to get up to a large house up above. I could see the house and had several levels and verandas. The woman asked me for my contact info, and she went on up to the house. I looked at my mom, wondering if she would be able to make it down to the stepping stones and over the water. And she has in brackets, she has mobility issues, and this looked beyond her ability. Okay, so let's go back over that. The woman gesturing for you to come in too, in through the gate. That's really good. So that's inviting you in. So do you feel invited in life? Did you feel welcomed by mom? That's going to be a no, because of the way this dream is healing that. You're invited along by this woman. You say there's an elaborate garden with bamboo and tropical plants. Okay, so that's going to be heart related, because tropical plants are green, obviously, usually colorful, but green and dark green. So you don't say anything about them, but we know that's there. The bamboo is a reference to digestive system stuff, but we can skip that for here. What I do like is the water feature and the stepping stones to get across the water feature. I do also like the several levels and the veranda. So you've got several levels about you. You are here to discover new levels of yourself. And you talk about moving up to the house. So you're being asked in the dream to move up, raise your spiritual awareness. The stepping stones across the water, of course, are what you're to take. You're to get into the spiritual field and take these steps. But you say, you wonder if your mom will be able to make it. So here's the thing. You're carrying the influence of mom. That's what mom means in the dream. It doesn't mean that you're actually going around with your mom. You're carrying her influence. And because of her influence, when you get to this thing where you know your way, you see a stepping stone. So this is the path. This is what you're meant to do. These are the steps you are meant to take. And you know it. But you hold yourself back because of mom's influence. That's what you in the dream, wondering whether you could do it with mom, whether she'd be able to do it. And it doesn't matter that in reality she has mobility issues. It's you bring them into the dream to show that mom is the influence that causes you to hold back. And that's what that part of the dream is about. And I said I like the water feature because that's telling us this is what you're meant to do. Get into your spiritual side, use that as a stepping stone, and that's going to help you realize the other levels that you've got within you. We all have several levels you've got, and to have them pointed out in your dream is great. You say, then the scene shifted and we returned back to her house, which was the house I grew up in. So this brings us back to childhood, as it always does. Even with just mom there, that's enough to say it's bringing you back to childhood. I said, as it always does. It doesn't always. Some dreams are about recent things and what you need to do and what's going on in your career and so on. But this dream is not that. My sister, who lives with my parents, told me that someone had been up in the house and up in my room. So I went up there, and there was a large, colourful Chinese dragon made out of paper/material. It reminded me of the ones that people get under in parades, but not as large. It was laying over the bed, its head towards the top of the bed and its tail hanging out over the end, and was about 8 feet long. Okay, so I'm going to stop there for a second and go back and cover that. So bringing you back to childhood, because you're back at your house, and I love the Chinese dragon. And this is Chinese dragons are associated with water. They're not like the dragons in European mythology, let's say, where it's all fire breathing and so on. So they're connected with spirituality because of their connection with water, and in the Chinese sense. And you say it's the type that would be used in a parade. So parades are about identity. Like, I'm from Ireland, and Ireland celebrates with the St. Patrick's Day parade. Mexico celebrates with the Cinco de Mayo. America's July 4th. And you know that what all these parades are about, and you know who's going to be in the parades because of who the country is or what you identify with the parade. And so parades then are about, this is who I am, and you understanding who you are. So you are spiritual in nature and have a spiritual side to you that you need to get in touch with. And so the woman in the earlier part of the dream asked for your address. So she's really saying, like you said, contact info/address. So she's asking you, where are you at in terms of where you need to go in life? And she's showing you, like, get into the spiritual field because of the way she walks across the stepping stones and so on. She's asking you, where are you at compared to where you need to go to? And we always need to do that, discover where we are, and figure out then from where we are what we need to do and the steps we need to take. We always like to think we're a little bit ahead of where we are. But anyway, so figure out where you are. That's what her message was in the last part. And then the parade here in this part is the same thing. Figure out who you are and display that. Be that person. You say it was over the bed. Beds and dreams. Now, this is your childhood bedroom. So it's going to be about bringing you back to your childhood. But it's also about you being a spiritual leader because of what comes up in the next bit, but also because of the dragon. You say it was about 8 feet long. 8 is, as a number, is always about expansion through balance, expansion through working on your feminine side. If you can imagine, you can balance an 8 on the end of your finger. You say, I walked closer and there were more decorations. I also noticed that there was a bedspread and pillows on the bed. I don't have a cover like that, but somehow I knew that it had been flipped over to the other side. So now the side facing up was bright orange with mystical designs, and the other side was purple, kind of tie-dyed looking. There was a large pillow with a pillowcase matching the cover, and it was placed at an angle so that I could read, "Thank you very much" on it. I am thinking, how did this happen? How did they get in? Thinking it was somehow connected to what happened earlier. So again, the how did they get in, that's connected to feeling welcome and wanted at the start of life. The large pillowcase and the bedspread and all that sort of stuff is all about your spiritual side. When we sleep, we leave our bodies and go to the spirit world, and so beds can also be about that. And here, because it's a large pillow and so on, it's asking you to get in touch with that. The colors, the color purple is about your spiritual leadership ability, and orange is, again, it's going to be part of the digestive system stuff because it's the chakra that feeds that part of your body. But it's also a color for ambition. And so it's asking you to have more ambition when it comes to getting into your spiritual side. Have more drive. That would be a good way of putting it. And that's what's facing up now. So this is what you need to do. It was hidden because you said that was the part that was underneath before, and it's been flipped up. So it's now no longer hidden, and you're being shown and given thanks for developing that side of you and bringing it to the forefront, and obviously then using that to help people. So what are you going to do first? You're going to work on the issues with your mom, cut the ties with mom, and then that's going to help you understand yourself better and also get more into your spiritual leadership gift, which maybe you already are very in touch with. I don't know, but it's going to be better for you once you cut the ties with Mom. And thank you for sending the dream. I just love that dream. There's probably something in it that I didn't point out that makes me really like it. I think it's just a very straightforward, simple one. Like the woman walking across the stepping stones, obviously showing you the way, inviting you in, showing you weren't invited, and then clearly you not doing it because your mom won't make it across. So it seems like an act of kindness in the dream, but it's not. You're holding yourself back. And we do that. We hold ourselves back because of other people's influence. Even if they don't expressly ask us not to do something, we can still hold ourselves back and think we're doing it out of love, which is not great. All right, let's move on. Let's have a look at another dream. And this one comes from Jasmine. She says, and this is more of a theme dream. It's kind of a long dream, so I'll do it as we go along. She says, in my dream, I find myself in a big house. It's similar to the house that I and my husband live in, but it's much bigger. There's lots of activity in the house and many people, mostly family or extended family. And I come to know that everyone has gathered for celebrating my birthday. It's an impromptu thing. So obviously this is about your birth. And it's going to be talking about then influences that you have from that time that you need to deal with. So you say, just sort of thrown around, and people who could come, they came. I go to a room upstairs and a few of the ladies there show me a box which contains a beautiful ethnic embroidered outfit. I'm from India, you say in brackets, and it's along with elegant jewelry pieces. So I love that. So this is asking you to display who you are culturally, like don't forget your culture, include that in who you are. But I also, the part earlier you said it's just people who could come came. That's not really good, because that's not what you would think about for your birthday. At least you shouldn't be thinking. You should be thinking everybody who loves me wants to come and celebrate my birthday with me, especially in a dream. So something shows that you hold yourself back when it comes to realizing your value and your importance and so on. But I do like the ethnic embroidered outfit, so include your origin in how you display yourself. The jewelry pieces are always about spiritual gifts because they're the most precious part of you. So you brought gifts with you and you're meant to use them. They give the box to me saying it's for me. I take it. You don't say who gave it to you, but always whoever gives you a gift in a dream is a guide. So it's useful if you know. I find myself thinking, oh, it's my birthday they have come for, and I am dressed in my casual homeware. I should go and change into something appropriate. So this is the theme that starts here and just continues throughout the dream. You feel like you're not dressed appropriately. Now, clothes in dreams represent attitudes or roles, but let's stick with attitudes. It makes you, it says that you don't ever feel that you're bringing the right attitude to things, or you're not doing something properly, if we look at roles. And that can only come from somebody. We don't come in with issues. We come in clear, like a blank slate. And then because of mom and dad's reaction to us, we pick up issues. And so you've picked up an issue that says that you feel like you don't always have an attitude that matches what is required for an occasion. And that's got to come from one of your parents. I'm going to say mom. But you can correct me. So you say I should go and change into something appropriate. I go to my room and search in the closet, but every outfit that I take out has either the top missing or the bottom missing. So again, it's like that's your pain. You're always feeling like I'm not approaching this right. I'm not, I'm letting somebody down. That's probably an easier way to put it, because that's probably how it feels to you, that I am letting somebody down by not coming to the situation with the right attitude. You say, meanwhile, I'm required somewhere, probably the kitchen, and I go there. The thought of being poorly dressed for the occasion is still bothering me. And I have that bolded because that's the thing. You feel inadequate for probably most situations. So if you can look at your life as you go through life, do you feel like, oh, I'm not doing this right, or I'm not approaching this right, or it's my fault I didn't bring the right attitude, or I should have done something differently when it comes to it, etc., etc., etc. you need to fix that. You need to heal that. And of course, that's going to be by going back and healing the issues with mom. And I'm saying mom because your mom shows up later in the dream. You said there have been tables set out for lunch and many family members are having their lunch on one of the tables. And I suddenly see my youngest brother, in brackets you say, in real life he hasn't been in touch with me or any family member for the past several years. I go over to him and I tell him that I am so happy to see him there. He says one of his friends told him that a birthday celebration had been planned for me, so he decided to come and join the party. I then go over to the next table where my mother and older brother are, and I tell my mom that my youngest brother is here too and ask her if he came to meet her. She said yes, he came over for a minute, chatted with her and went away as usual. I remember thinking to myself, if anyone had told me about this party, I would have let my second brother and his wife know about it so they could have come too. Now, when they hear about it, they would feel so bad that I didn't tell them. Now note how she feels about other people feeling left out or being left out. So that's what you feel. So you can always tell, in dreams, I'm looking for the core wound. And I see it in the dreams based on how you feel. So at the start of life, you feel like you're letting people down. Right at the start, you're an infant. You've just been born. How on earth could you let anybody down? So that was your parents' reaction to you that you picked up. So it's all on them. But of course, it's now your wound that you have to deal with. And you here focusing on the people, on feeling bad that other people are left out, means that you felt left out or feel left out in life. So that it started at the start of life, but now it shows up in, again, you can tell what somebody's core wound is by looking for what they do to help other people avoid. So if you're at a party and you see somebody walk into that party and nobody greets them, nobody even notices they walk in, do you feel so bad that you would go over, even if it's not your party, and welcome them and talk to them and chat with them? Because if that's what you would do, that's you trying to help somebody avoid the pain that you already experienced. That's what we do in life. We do things to help other people avoid the pain that we don't want to experience ourselves. And so you can tell by somebody's actions what their issue is, and from their dreams what their issue is, because the dream will show the actual wound. So if you feel left out or feel invisible, that is what the dream is about. And again, it comes from your start to life. You talk about the brother and the brother talk, but again, it's all about coming up to, isn't this amazing? This person's here, but your focus is on the one that you see all the time, your brother and his wife. You're not happy for the brother that was there. You are a little bit, but you're more unhappy for the person who got neglected. And so that's key. Next, I find myself carrying the box that I was given, thinking that I can wear that beautiful outfit since I can't find any of my own to wear. As I'm taking it to my room, someone asks me, "Oh, you already got your gift?" I say, "Yes." I wanted to say, "But I didn't know this was my birthday gift." But I don't say it and I move on. Then I'm feeling embarrassed that people haven't even had a chance to enjoy the proper cake cutting and birthday wishing, and I already have the gift in my hands before all of that. How people must be feeling about it. And I am feeling more embarrassed about it. Again, so it's your birthday and you're worried about about you doing something wrong. That you've been given a gift and you've opened that gift before, you're like out of place. You're the one out of place, etc., etc. So again, that means that in your life, in your childhood, this is where you pick this issue up. And you're concerned that other people must be feeling terrible because you've done something wrong. You've just been born. You can't do anything wrong. So again, that's going to come about in your life today. You're going to feel all the time like I'm doing something wrong, I'm approaching it wrong, but the dream tells you where it comes from. And this feeling embarrassed that you've done something wrong. So it should be very easy for you to identify that this is pervasive in my life. It definitely is there. You say, I go to my room, open the box to put on that outfit and find that there's only the top. The bottom is missing. And then you woke up. And the dream, you called the dream my birthday celebration. But you weren't celebrating. You were almost panicking all the way through this dream, which is not good. So even when you open the gift, it's not all there. It's not complete. So you feel incomplete. You feel like that your role, your approach to things, your attitude that you bring to things is missing something, and in some way you're letting other people down. So you've taken too much responsibility on yourself. But again, all connected to mom, because she's the one that shows up in the dream. You need to cut the ties with mom. It's going to change your world in a way that you couldn't possibly even imagine. So Jasmine, thank you for sending in the dream. Does it seem harsh for me to say you need to cut the ties with your mom, or do some other therapy? It can be another therapy that will help you deal with the issues that she's given you. And I said the same to Amy beforehand. And it's just coincidental that that's what both people need to do. But of course, the situation is going to be unique for each of you. You know, it's all about your childhood and the specifics of your birth and your relationship with your mom. But we come here for that. We come here to deal with the issues that we already have in the spirit world. We project them into the physical world, mostly by conditioning from parents. And that's done deliberately so that we can then live a life with the issue, really ground ourselves in it, like soak it in, and then do something later in life that will allow us to heal from that issue. And it transforms us. It absolutely transforms us. And this is the work I love to do, working with people to help them heal childhood traumas. And I have 3 levels on the course that I do coming up on the February 19th. If you're interested, you can go to dream-analysis.com/healing and find out about it. But it's why we come here. The top level on that course, I call it the transformation level, because when you do the healing, when you work with me, and I jokingly say I drag you by the ear by reading your dreams, and I make you do all the things that your higher self is saying you need to do for just 8 to 10 weeks, say, that typically that's how long it takes. You will be a changed person just for listening to your dreams for 8 to 10 weeks and listening to them properly and doing what they say. The world will be a different world for the rest of your life after that. So much so that most people say to me, can I now work on something else? And usually you're told not to. You're meant to just live in that changed space. Yeah, you can work on yourself later on, but not straight away. Anyway, that's my show for this week. If you want to find more about me, go to dream-analysis.com, where you can submit your dream to the show and read all sorts of things. Take care. Happy Valentine's Day.